welcome. Let's talk. Top 3 coming to crowdfunding this week. Make it worth your while. Let's do this. Number 1, you may know them from It's a Wonderful Kingdom, It's a Wonderful World, or Dameo, one of their more heavier worker placements. But this one is coming from those creators from the moon. What you have here is you have players as factions from Earth trying to be the one that contributes the most in order to achieve 3 survival missions before all life is extinguished on Earth. And by doing so, in this multi-layered, multifaceted worker placement style game with space exploration, obviously, that's what you're going to be trying to do. And if you are the one that has the most contributions after 3 successful survival missions are sent off, then you win. You're going to have your own moon base, you're going to have your own surface of the moon, you're going to have your own individual player board, and you're going to be going back and forth between these different areas and going to have to manage not just simple worker placement, but also multifaceted developments and interactions between all 3 of these boards that are going to be in front of you. Now, the only video on Board Game Geek is a man versus meeple overview, so you can check that out to get a little bit of a sense of what the board is going to look like, as well as how the gameplay is going to actually flow. But otherwise, details are relatively tight to the vest. We haven't seen any other videos, though I imagine there will be 1 or 2 others as it gets ready to launch. Also launching on the 7th, we have over on BackerKit, we have the latest of the 2nd expansion from the new definitive edition, Greater Than Games' Sentinels of the Multiverse. Now, if you're not familiar with this, this is their latest iteration of this in order to sort of revamp and reset their original universe after they finished it previously, and this is sort of a 4.0 edition. Now, the first expansion as well as the definitive base game have gotten relatively positive reception from their core audience who are buying this and liked it in the first place. The biggest question is, does it appeal to people outside of people that liked it in the first place? Like, if you weren't a fan, is this going to change? And I haven't really seen that posted anywhere. But the Rook City Renegades, the first expansion, has a 9.1 rating on Board Game Geek, and it adds, what, 6 heroes, 9 villains, 5 more environments, and it looks like Disparition here is going to be adding just the same in terms of numbers. Just like Rook City Renegades did in adding new gameplay elements, new keywords, they're going to be doing something different here because they say there's going to be variants, events, critical events, as well as new options for different ways to play your heroes to their principles. So what does that actually entail? It's giving layers, I think, more than the original did, and more streamlined, but people have said, even with this new definitive edition, some of the, I don't want to say fiddliness, some of the upkeep that you're having to do in this game is still present. So if that was your big turnoff, this maybe isn't going to be it, but it also streamlines it in other ways, so it doesn't take as much power ramp up. You actually get to do things sooner in your unique individual heroes. This is also a very heavy solo game where you can do single-handed or multi-handed very easily, well, with an asterisk, you know, after what I just said. But it's a lot easier to do along the lines of something like a Marvel Champions as well, only this comes with pre-constructed rather than deck construction. So if that's of interest to you, the question again is going to be, what does this expansion do? Just like the other Marvel Legendary expansions, all add their own keywords, all add their own slightly different dynamics. This is going to do similar. They're definitely playing off of that, giving it more of that than the first time around. And so that's why you have nearly 5,000 people following on the BackerKit page at the time of me filming this. And, you know, it's probably going to raise another couple $100,000 just like they did, because this is a successful series, and hopefully they can continue to reinvent it and give more positivity and more just everything, just like Marvel Legendary has done over time with that. Third up here, we are giving a Quest Kids shout out, one of my kids' favorite board games. But you never played like Giant Jenga or Giant Azul or Giant Chess? This is Quest Kids done giant. And so what you're going to have here is you're going to have essentially just a big version of Play It at Home Quest Kids. And so if you have kids that are of that age, you should definitely give this game a look-see, because there's probably going to be bundles of the previous game as well. We just picked up the 2nd expansion, the Big Bad, and that adds an expansion content to the Quest Kids that I never want to play without, because my kids love this game. And if you want to get your kids into gaming, this is the sort of thing to get them excited. It doesn't have to be mechanically deep, folks. I think we lose that sometimes as parents or as, you know, people in this hobby. But if people are intrigued enough, and my kid is giggling or getting giddy at sight of playing this, that's what this has the potential to do, and that's why you should give it a look-see. The problem and the concern, I guess, maybe in this case is, what is the price point going to be for something giant? Because often with giant size, comes giant responsibility. No, just kidding, giant price. And that's going to be the make it or break it. You know, like the giant size Rhino Hero, the giant size Azul, they're running like $200 each or something like that, right? And that's a ton of money. And for a kid's game, that's probably going to price some people out, but we're going to see what they have in store for us from that aspect. So those are the 3 top ones coming to crowdfunding this week. You should give them a look-see, but always, always, always tune in on Fridays. I do complete crowdfunding roundups because I cover both the ones that I know about, as well as there's always 2 or 3 that surprise me out of nowhere. And if you don't tune in, you're going to miss them out, and you can't back them, and you can't support the indie publishers that we want to see make these games and come out of nowhere and do and succeed even further if you don't know about them in the first place. So that's all I got. Short, sweet, to the point, hopefully informational and entertaining at the same time. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you want. A few more days for the 7K subscriber video. I'll put that above. And Patreon if you want to as well. So there you go. Have a great weekend. Peace out. Cha-ching.